Hello guys, this is Mr. Kareem from Tala and Noor International Schools, and in this video I'm gonna revise with you the first selection that we have in the reading part, which is the fortunes of fragrance. Okay, so please listen carefully to understand everything about it to be ready for the final exam. Okay, so first of all, let's begin with the title. What does it mean, the word fortune? Fortune. Actually, this word means that something is very valuable or wealthy. Okay, something very expensive, um, very important. Okay, like a treasure. Got my point? So here we mean the valuable thing about the fragrance. What is the fragrance? Simply, it's like the perfume, the good smell of the flowers, for example. Okay, when you smell flower, you feel that it has a good smell. This is called the fragrance, like the perfume or the good smell of the flowers. So simply, the title means the treasure or the valuable good smell or the perfumes that we have to keep or to save as much as we can. Okay, this is for the title. After that, we have to focus on the genre as usual. As you can see, the genre is written here on the right side. The genre is expository text. What does it mean, expository? Simply, it means that you explain something. Okay, so in this text, we'll explain. Okay, the writer is explaining to us the importance of the fragrance or the perfumes or the good smells, and how can we save them and how can we keep them as much as we can, because they are very important in our life. Okay, so again, expository means the explanation or the text that gives us a lot of information and a lot of explanation about specific point. Clear? Okay. Now we have to read the first paragraph over here, okay, because he's asking us what is the paragraph's main idea, which is paragraph number 1. So let's read it to know what is the main idea or what's talking about. Our sense of smell plays a significant role in our survival. So here in the first 2 lines, he's telling us about the smell, the sense of smell that we have as human, and how it's very important for us and playing significant role. The word significant means very important or essential, that you can't live without it. It will be very difficult if someone can't smell, of course. You remember when someone had coronavirus, he can't smell, he lost his ability to smell. It was very difficult, of course, for the people uh, to live without the sense of smell. That's why it's a very important sense, and it plays a very important role in our life. Okay, it helps us detect poisons, smoke from a fire, toxic gases, and other dangers. So here he is telling us what can you do by the sense of smell. Of course, you can detect the poison when you smell something very bad, something dangerous about your life. You can identify it or you can find it by your sense of smell. Also, when you smell the smoke that comes from the fire, also some toxic gases. When you walk in a street, for example, you can smell the gas and you say, yeah, it's a very bad smell. This is also because of the sense of smell. And everything dangerous to your body or to your health, you can also discover it or find it by your sense of smell. Okay. Our noses can tell us a great deal about something that is unfamiliar or questionable. So, here, why our nose is very important? Simply because when we smell anything unfamiliar, which is uncommon or not common, not famous to our nose, we can identify it easily. For example, if someone is cooking food, okay, and you are smelling it, you will feel that it's familiar, it's something common. I know the smell of the food, okay, but when you smell something unfamiliar or something not common to your nose, you will find it easily. You will discover it easily. Okay. For example, a piece of rotten fruit. Rotten means that it's not uh, able to be eaten. Okay, it's not good, it's expired. Okay, so if we have a piece of rotten fruit, may look beautiful, it will look beautiful by the appearance. Okay, it will look good, but its smell lets us know it's not edible. The word edible means that something is not good for eating. You are not allowed to eat, okay, because it's not fresh, it's something expired. So how can we discover that this food is expired? By our nose, by our sense of smell. Because when you just look to it, you will find that, okay, it's beautiful. I like its appearance, but I can't eat it because the smell is very bad. Got my point? Okay. For centuries, century means 100 years. Okay. For centuries, doctors have used their sense of smell to identify infection or disease. Also, not the normal people, also the doctors can discover some diseases or some infections by the bad smell, of course. Fortunately, the word fortunately means for the good luck. For the good luck. There are many pleasant odors as well. The word odor means the smell, good smell. So because we are lucky, we also have good smell, not all the time bad smells, of course. From earliest times, many years ago, people have sought ways to preserve the lovely scents of flowers and herbs. So many years ago, the people all the time were trying to save the good or the lovely scents or the lovely smells of the flowers and herbs. The word herb means the plants that have leaves, we call them herbs. Okay, so um, most of the perfumes are made of the scents of flowers, of course. That's why it's very important for the people or for the humans to save the good smells of the flowers and herbs. So this is the first paragraph. Okay, I think it became easy now. I want you to do the same, please. Highlight this part that I made the box on. Okay, and I think when I explain it now word by word, it became very easy and simple for you. Okay, next, capturing aromas. Capturing, the verb capture means to get, to extract, okay? And aromas means fragrance or the good smells. So this part will talk about how the people try to get or to extract the good smells from the plants and flowers. Many plants contain volatile oils. The word volatile means that the oil that can easily evaporate. Okay, it's not staying in the flower. No, it's easily evaporating in the good temperature. These chemicals often repel insects. These chemicals or these oils, okay, the insects dislike them, hate them, but they smell good to us. So we love the smell of the perfume, but the insects don't like the smell of the perfumes. They run away from them. Okay. Early humans discovered them while crushing or pressing leaves. While cutting the leaves, they discovered the good smell of these oils in some leaves or fruits or even bark, which is um, the outer skin of the tree, in the middle of the tree. Before long, many years ago, people found ways to release and use the oils. So it's very important discovery for the people that how to extract or how to get these oils because they are smelling good to us. They noticed that soaking rose petals in water resulted in a scented liquid. So the people discovered that when you put um, a flower, okay, or the petal of the flower, which is a part of it, into water, just sink it into the water, it will create, of course, a scented liquid. The liquid or the water will be very lovely smell. They also learned that simply burning parts of aromatic plants would scent the air. Also, they discover when you burn the part of the flower, the lower part of the flower can also make the air very lovely smell. The people soon started to mix powdered resin or tree sap, which is a sticky part of the flower. They mixed this with honey to form lamps of incense. So the people are trying to discover more and more about how to get the good smell from the flowers and the plants. They placed the incense on hot coals or in ornate burners to produce a perfumed smoke. What does it mean, the word ornate? Decorated. Okay, so they put this incense into a decorated burner with hot coals, of course, because this smoke will make very perfumed air, and it will be a very good smell for the people. In fact, the word perfume comes from the Latin words per, this is the first part, and fume, this is the second part, which means through smoke. So what does it mean, perfume? Through smoke. Where does it come from? From Latin words. This is the originality of the word. Okay. Over time, people developed other means to capture fragrance. So the people still trying to get or to extract the good fragrance of the flowers or the plants. One of the ways, they squeezed the rinds of citrus fruits or boiled the leaves of such plants as lavender and peppermint to obtain their oils. So in this part, the people learned to squeeze the rinds of the citrus fruits, the outer part of the citrus fruit, or even boil them in water, the leaves of two famous plants. Number one, the lavender. Number two, the peppermint. Why they will do that? Just to obtain or to get the the volatile oil that we talked about. Later, they found that steam could extract oils from both fresh and dried plants. So also after years, they discovered that steam can also help us to extract the oils easily from the fresh plant or even the dried plant. How? They will explain to us here. Take care. After the steam release volatile oils from plant materials inside a pressurized chamber. So we have a pressurized chamber, small room. We call it pressurized because it has very high pressure. Okay. And we will use the steam, which is the gas that will be out of the water. Okay. Under specific temperature, of course. This will release or will extract the volatile oil from the plant. It passes through cooling tubes, whereas the oils become a separate liquid. So in this case, the oil will move through cooling tubes till we receive the pure oil with a good smell from the plant or the flower. This technique, guys, is called steam distillation. Okay? What does it mean? Simply to get the purified oil with good fragrance from a plant or a flower. And by the way, this technique is still widely used up till now in many countries all over the world. The enduring power of perfume in the modern world, trade involving fragrance materials is as brisk as ever. The word brisk here means refreshment. Okay, of course, when you put some perfume, you feel refreshed. Okay, but chemists are the new explorers. The chemists are the scientists who are working in the chemistry, okay, and they are trying to make some experiments to find the best perfumes ever. Over several decades, over many years, the decade means 10 years, by the way. These scientists have learned to isolate the fragrant molecules in natural plant oils and engineer synthetic replacements for others. Okay, focus here, please. So the scientists trying all the time how to get or how to isolate the fragrant molecules. The word molecules means group of atoms, very small parts in natural plant oils, and how to get them isolated to be pure, to be alone without any other substances. Okay? But take care of the word synthetic, this one. Synthetic means something chemicals, made by chemicals. It's not something pure, not something natural. Okay? So if we have two perfumes, one is pure and natural, 100% from the flowers, from the oil of the flowers or the plants. This one will be very expensive, of course. And the other perfume, which has a lot of synthetic replacements, for example, a lot of chemicals, and it was manufactured, created by the chemists. This one will be less expensive, of course. Okay, because it's not pure, it's not 100% natural. Got my point? Here, in the coming lines, he will just compare between the two types of perfumes. Okay, synthetic fragrance chemicals are derived primarily from petroleum. So, the synthetic fragrance will contain chemicals and they will come from the petroleum. Okay, that's why they will not be pure. They are usually less expensive, as you can see, than the natural materials, of course. So when you buy a perfume, try to get the natural one. It will be expensive, but it will be also healthy. It will be good for your body. Okay? Do not use the synthetic perfume because it will affect your body, affect your health, and it will be also cheap, less expensive, but it will make you a lot of problems. Okay, still, many of the highest quality perfumes require a small percentage of ingredients derived from real flowers. But at least you have to keep in the synthetic fragrance also a small percentage from the real flowers, from the natural one, because it has the good smell, it has the very powerful fragrance. One perfume company maintains its own fields in the south of France. As you know, France is one of the most common and famous countries all over the world that produce and create perfumes, the original perfumes, of course. To grow special kinds of rose and jasmine needed to produce their best-selling product. Many companies use a process called gas chromatography. Take care of this process, gas chromatography. What does it mean? Simply, it's a process to identify the molecules, the small parts, the atomic parts that make up natural flowers fragrance. The molecules are then manufactured. We will just put these molecules into some tools, into some machines, and blended to make a fragrance that simulate the real thing. So they will just, edit and adjust and add some substances to these molecules to try to make them as a copy from the real or the original uh, flower fragrance. Okay, demand for aromatic has only increased since ancient times. The production and sale of fragrance products make up an industry that is now worth billions of dollars. As you know, guys, many companies, many countries are working in producing and selling the famous brands of the perfumes, and this industry became very valuable. It's worth about billions of dollars. Okay, these companies are getting a lot of money because many people buying perfumes all over the world. Each person has his own perfume that he used to use all over the years. So these companies are very profitable. Okay, history has shown that as long as people seek beautiful aromas, the fragrance market will continue to be big business. So This business will still and will remain very big business because the people seek or need beautiful aromas. The people need beautiful perfumes and good smells and good fragrance. So this business will still successful for many years. Okay, now it's time to revise the meanings of the 10 new words or vocab in this selection. Number one, the word significant. Significant. It's an adjective. This is the part of speech, and it means important or valuable. Something is very important or valuable. We call it significant. Number two, edible. Edible. It's also an adjective, and it means able to be eaten as food. Okay, something that you can eat and it's fresh, it tastes good, and it's not expired. Okay, something good for eating. Three, aromas. Aromas. It's a noun and it means a noticeable smell that is usually good. Very good smell that you can notice it easily. You know, when you enter any coffee place, coffee shop, or Starbucks, all the time you will smell the good smell of the coffee and it will be very noticeable. You will notice it very easily. That we call aromas. Next, incense. Incense is a noun and it means a material burned to produce a pleasant odor. And the word odor, we said also it means like the fragrance or the good smell. So simply the incense is a material like that we burn to produce or to get a good smell. Okay, number five, ornate. Ornate. It's an adjective and it means decorated in a fancy way. Something decorated in a very good way. As you can see here, this mirror is decorated in a very, very lovely way. Number six, distribution. Distribution. It's a noun and it means the act of spreading something across an area. You know, when you spread the papers between the students, when you share the quiz papers, for example, between the students, we call them distribution. Okay? When I ask a student to distribute the papers, I mean that he has to spread the papers between the students. Okay, next, commodity. Commodity. It's a noun and it means something that is bought and sold. Okay, when you buy something, keep it for a while, then you sell it again, we call it commodity. Okay, next, replenish. Replenish is a verb and it means to make complete or full again, to refill something one more time. You know, when you put the gas into the car, you fill it again, refill, or you make it full again. This is the meaning of replenish. Number nine, dominant. Dominant is an adjective and it means having the power or influence over the others. When someone is very strict and he has strong or power over all the people and he is very dominant person, he is giving instructions and all the people are obeying him, that's what we call dominant. Last word, number 10, impenetrable. Impenetrable. This word is an adjective and it means impossible to get through or into. As you can see in the picture, it's like a castle and we have very strong walls that it's impossible to get through or into. No one can get through these walls because it's very strong. So if something that you can't get through, we call it impenetrable. Okay, I hope they are very easy and clear for you now, and I wish you all the best, grade 6. Thank you so much, and take care.